Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Children's Story Time. I'm Reverend Brad Walmer, pastor at New Covenant United Church of Christ in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and this is this week's edition of Children's Story Time. We do a children's message. This one's for the 8th Sunday after Pentecost. It'll be for Sunday, July 19th. We'll be taking a look at the gospel lesson, Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 to 30 and 36 to 43. We're playing weed or plant. Weed or plant. I'm going to show you some pictures of flowers, and you tell me if that flower is a weed or a plant. Many beautiful flowers resemble weeds by spreading out of control. Likewise, many weeds get beautiful blooms that resemble flowers. So this morning, I'm going to show you pictures, and you tell me if that picture is a weed or a flower. So here we go. What do you think? What do you think this one is? Is this a weed or is it a flower? If you said it is a weed, you are absolutely correct. This is broadleaf plantain. Maybe you've seen it in your yard. This is broadleaf plantain. This is a weed. So if you guessed weed, you're 1 for 1. Here's our next one. What do you think of this one? What do you think this one is? Do you think this one is a weed or is it a flower? If you said it is a flower, you are correct. This is sweet fern. This is known as sweet fern. It is a flower. There we go. All right, here's the next one. What do you think? Yeah, this is a flower. This is a form of hibiscus. It's called a cannef. So this is a flower. So how are you doing so far? You got all 3? How about this one? What do you think? What do you think of this one? This one is actually a weed. It looks like a morning glory plant, but it's actually known as bindweed, and it's actually a weed. It grows out of control, looks like morning glory, but not a plant, a weed. So how you doing? Did that one get you? Did that one get you? Here's another one. What do you think? What do you think about this one? Pretty yellow blooms. Flower or weed? What do you think? Put your thinking cap on. What do you think? If you said weed, you are correct. This is wild mustard. This will be another parable that we'll talk about sometime, that Jesus tells about wild mustard growing out of control. This is a weed. This is wild mustard. All right, here's our next one. What do you think? Tubular with lots of blooms on it. If you said flower, you are correct. This is the cassava plant. Flower. So here we go. Next one. I'm losing some of my pictures. Here we go. What do you think this one is? This is oregano. This is a flower, a flowering plant, an herb. This is oregano in full bloom. Flower. How are you doing? That's 7. Are you 7 for 7? Here's our last one. What do you think? Pretty white little flowers, kind of looks like daisies. What do you think? Flower or weed? What do you think? If you guessed weed, you are correct. This is the flower on the chickweed, another weed that spreads out of control, goes everywhere. Chickweed, the flower on the chickweed plant. This is a weed. How'd you do? Did you get 8 for 8? Did you get 7 of 8? 6 out of 8? How did you do telling the difference between a flower and a weed. You know, sometimes I hope the game illustrated that it's difficult sometimes to tell the difference between a weed or a flower. Even dandelion gets those pretty yellow blooms, and its leaves can be eaten like a salad. So even dandelion, in some sense, seems more like a flower than a weed. Jesus reminds us in our lesson this morning not to judge based on appearance, not to write someone off as a weed. As we learned last week with the parable of the sower, our job is to spread God's love recklessly, wildly. We are to focus on spreading God's love and let the pulling of the weeds up to God. Thanks be to God. Hey, good morning, fine sir. Thank you for joining us this morning. You're getting a preview of this coming Sunday's message for all ages. So no cheating on Sunday morning, Mr. Derek. Thanks for joining me this morning. Hope you had fun trying to figure out playing the game, trying to figure out what's a weed and what's a flower. Hope to see you next week. Peace and blessings, love and prayers. Bye bye, everybody.